Hello, divas. I am mezzo-soprano Megan Enan. This is my weekly web series, my weekly video series called Fri-YAY, where we talk about all things diva life. We talk about arts entrepreneurship. We talk about creative placemaking. We talk about audience development. We talk about singing new music. We talk about all sorts of stuff here. So, like I said, this is Fri-YAY. I'm so happy that you're here. And I'm talking about summer festivals today. And I have had the fortune to do a number of summer festivals in my experience, and I know the importance of them, but I also know how challenging like it can be to bring that into your life. So that's why I want to talk about it, because training festivals or educational like participant festivals like that can be an expense, but it's professional development that I really want you to consider if you are earlier in your career, or if you're looking to get more involved with new music, for example, or you're really looking to just broaden your community, broaden your network, broaden your skills. Summer festivals are great for that kind of thing. So I want to talk about summer festivals because the Akropolis Wind Quintet asked me to be a guest speaker again this coming summer for Akropolis Mastermind. And I jumped at the chance, obviously, because they're such great people. And I really highly encourage you to check out their mastermind. It's 1 week, it's fully virtual. It was conceived as virtual, so you're not getting some sort of off-brand summer festival experience. So I really want you to check it out. It is acropolisquintet.org, right? acropolisquintet.org/mastermind. So go take a look. I put it in the comments here. Go take a look at it if you're thinking about doing some sort of educational festival this summer. It's really, really helpful. And I wanted to talk about some of the things that I think you should look for and what Acropolis does really well. So that's baked into all of this. But what I think that you should look for, as well as what I want you to bring with you to be your best self when you do a summer festival. So one of the things that really got me into doing new music festivals for summer festival experience was the fact that they tend to be shorter than YAPs, like young artist programs for opera. I couldn't at the time financially, I could never swing being able to be away for the whole summer and not making a serious amount of money. That's just not how my life was set up. And I, would that it were different, but it wasn't. So one of the things that I really looked for was how much time is this? How much time am I committing to this? So be thoughtful about that. But there's lots of different summer festivals that can fit into whatever time frame you have available. And so just if you are in the same boat as I was and you're thinking, oh, I can't do these because I have to work in the summer or something like that, then just know that there are plenty of experiences. Like Acropolis is a good example because it's only 1 week. And so the other part of that is really being able to get there, to be part of it. So a lot of the festivals that I ended up doing, kind of focusing on things that were on the East Coast and in the Midwest when I was living in Baltimore. I did a couple of them that were overseas, but the costs for being able to fly abroad or being able to travel farther across the country were somewhat prohibitive to me. So I want you to think about, do I have access to the resources to pay for the travel to get to this thing, as well as any sort of a tuition or whatever I'm going to pay to be a part of it? Look for summer festivals that understand that aren't just a cash grab. So look for festivals that really are clear about the fact that you're getting a ton of experience, a ton of access to the faculty, to the mentors, to the guest speakers. You're getting access to repertoire, you're getting access to workshops and performances and all sorts of stuff. You're getting access to a ton of stuff for the cost. So when you see something that has, a comma in the number or something like that for a summer festival experience, you could immediately be like, oh, this is too expensive for me. But I want you to think about, how much are you already paying for school or whatever. That I think that it's important to budget for professional development experiences. I didn't do any summer festivals while I was in college or in grad school because I needed to wait. Like I said, financially, I needed to work full time so that I could set money aside to be able to afford these kinds of professional development experiences. But it was definitely worth it. So something to consider there. Like I kind of mentioned just now with like what do you get out of that festival is really take a look at the content. Like what are they teaching you? What mentorship, what guidance are they providing? So are they doing coachings? Is there a faculty member, a professional that's part of every single ensemble if you're doing something in person and you're workshopping pieces? Are you there with a faculty member who plays at the level that you want to be playing at so that you can glean from their experience inside of those rehearsals? Same thing with who's giving the guest speaker talks. Like look at their bios and say, like, is this someone that I want to be learning from their skills? Do I want to be, do they have careers that are impressive to me, or do they have careers where they're giving information that's important to the areas where I want to grow and develop? Also, summer festivals are just such, oh my gosh, I can't even, how do you even say it? Like a community builder, like bar none. So I have to say that even more than some of my educational experiences, my academic experiences, summer festivals are where my professional network grew by leaps and bounds. So if you are looking to grow your professional network, no matter what part of your career you're in, a festival might be a great place to show up. So because you are in community, you are working with and reinforcing community bonds through a summer festival experience, such that you can keep those things going. And that kind of helps me think about some of the stuff that I want you to take with you if you go to a summer festival, like how to bring your best self to a summer festival, which is really trying to get the most out of the musical experience that you're going to have if you're performing, if you're playing, or if you're writing for it. Composers, please take note. Don't procrastinate. Don't let yourself put it off because of imposter syndrome or anything like that. Don't let yourself put off the writing of the piece if you're going to a festival because you're nervous about it or whatever. You want to make sure that you're showing up with a piece that's going to be that's going to be a rock star in your catalog, because you're probably going to get archival recordings. You're going to get these experiences to workshop your pieces with your contemporaries who are very good at what they do. So make the most out of that. That's on the composition side. On the performance side, this is also often a time when you can suggest the repertoire that you want to work on. And oh my goodness, if you do not have a rep wish list that you've been working on, and the ones that are probably the hardest to like get together, like those are always the experiences. So I have to say that summer festivals were often the place where I knew that I could get a certain piece of repertoire like off of my wish list into my have performed it list, because we had space to rehearse. There were enough people to fill out the instrumentation. We had access to all of the instruments. I promise you, if you are doing something with a ton of percussion, summer festivals usually are connected to a place where it's got access to those resources. So just be thinking about what's on my rep wish list that I can bring to fruition in this experience. And even if I have a one-on-one coaching outside of the workshops or outside of rehearsals on something that I know one of the faculty members has worked on or has coached or something like that, another really, really valuable experience. So that's like thinking about that, going into it, making sure that you are feeling ready to be a sponge, because so many times we hamstring ourselves when we go, oh, I'm going to look impressive at this thing, rather than being like, I need to soak up all of this knowledge. There's something for me in every single session. There's something for me in every single rehearsal. So really think about that as you're doing this, because you want to go to all of it and just be so, so aware of what you could be learning, right? Don't go into that experience feeling like I have to look like I already know everything. That it's just not going to help you. So I want you to keep thinking about that. And then the other part about being a sponge is the community side of it. Go into that experience thinking about how can I start, maintain, and build on relationships here, right? One of the things that I was definitely this person at all of my summer festivals, the person that went and like friended them on Facebook before I showed up, because I wanted to see what we had in common, what we liked. And I wanted to make sure that I could remember their names and stuff like that. So it didn't feel like I was going to be kind of secluded or isolated at this festival. And I wanted to connect with people about the things that they cared about. So think about that before you go, whatever the experience. Think about this for conferences. Think about this, for anything where you're coming together like that. Think about, who am I going to meet at this, and how am I going to make sure that we build a strong relationship from the get-go? Because I'm telling you right now that there are composers that I have worked with again and again and again because of meeting them at a festival. And I have done the same thing with performers. There are people that I would just drool to work with again that I met at summer festivals. And I feel so lucky to have worked with them at that point in time so that we could come back together. And when we see each other, at series, at, other performance festivals during the year, we see each other and it's no time has passed at all or whatever. So these are a couple of the things that I want you to look out for. Heading back to the repertoire idea for just a second, as a performer, I said, composers, be ready, like write your best piece and don't wait until the last minute. Same thing, performers, make sure that you show up ready to ball. Like it's so important that you show up with your music learned through and through so that you can do just the ensemble rehearsal part and get the most out of that. If you are stressing about notes and rhythms, it's too late. Don't do it. Don't be that person, because you're going to bring everything else down. Everybody is there. Think of this as mutual aid in a certain way. You are all coming together and pooling your resources to learn from the faculty, the guests, all of that stuff. You're pooling your resources to get the best information, the best coaching, the best experience out of that whole time together. So do not waste your pennies. Do not waste a single dollar by not bringing your best self to that experience. So best self to that experience means I'm prepared ahead of time. It means I show up ready to absorb information. I show up ready to be a sponge. And my best self means that I stay in touch afterwards. I keep up with the people who run the festival. I keep up with the people who were there and ask them what they're doing. And then hopefully we run into each other again. So anyway, that's my short and sweet crash course. What to think about when you're looking at summer festivals, and then also, how to get the most out of a summer festival experience. So, as I always say, divas, stay sparkly inside and out, and I will talk to you next time.